Welcome to Real Deal. I'm Tara,
And I'm Giselle.
and this week we are talking about the Bay Area's very own Sean Wang and his directorial debut for his first feature-length movie, Didi.
Didi is about a young boy in his early teens, and we'll just read you the letterbox description real quick. For anyone who's ever been a teenager.
Fortunately.
Oof, we've all been there. In 2008, during the last month of summer, before high school begins, an impressionable 13-year-old Taiwanese American boy learns what his family can't teach him: how to skate, how to flirt, and how to love your mom.
Bam. That last line is crazy. How to love your mom. That's a banger.
Dude, honestly, related a little too hard.
This movie really hit home for us. I don't think I'm going to be able to stop talking about this movie this year.
No, so I'm just going to scroll down so we can see who the actors are here. But, wow, what an incredible cast. I think that everyone here, I think everyone here is, like, relatively new.
Joan Chen, been around the block.
Really?
Yes.
What was she
That
in?
is a fantastic actress. We can pull up all of the things. I think it's been a while since she's been in something crazy. She's in Twin Peaks. Saving Face is really cute. Tiger Tail, I think that was a Netflix release. It didn't make a ton of noise.
I've never seen any of these.
I've seen Saving Face, and Lust and Caution is on my watch list. She was also in A Murder at the End of the World. That was a TV show on Hulu, and I'm not gonna lie to you. I did start it, did not finish it.
Okay.
She does not have a huge role in that. Lust and Caution, that's on my watch list as well.
Her face card is crazy in her letterbox picture.
It's nuts. Face card is really...
Even to this day.
But
like, this headshot is insane.
Yeah. Yeah,
so
international
80s.
attention for Academy Award winning The Last Emperor, which I haven't seen. I hate to say that.
Well, shout out to her.
Yeah, I hate to say I haven't seen that. Cinephile card revoked. Giselle and I will watch it. We'll make sure it happens.
We'll watch it eventually. We get around to everything eventually.
Isaac Wang, who plays Didi himself, he is in Good Boys. It's just like a little comedy. I mean, he's only like 13, so
yeah,
not a ton of stuff that he's in.
Sorry about the cat. It's on auto feed.
Jesus Christ.
Anyways, y'all, okay, back to this movie. Yeah, but I think the rest of the cast is just, like, young kids, which I really like. I'm glad that they didn't do the, like, try to be fucking high school kid age, and they're not.
Yeah.
And I appreciate what the director did with, like, casting kids, like...
I'm talking to you, Alexa Demian, mid-90s. Girl, you ain't fooling nobody.
No.
You was in high school with Cleopatra. You look good, but girl...
No, you looked good.
The jig is up.
We knew.
It's up.
She was, like, 30 in that.
That's so crazy.
Yeah, that is
beyond crazy work.
Her genetics go crazy.
Yeah.
Anyways, y'all, this movie really just, like, hit too close to home for the both of us.
Yeah.
Tara, tell us about your first time watching this. Where did you see it? Was the theater packed?
It was. I went to see this in the Alamo Draft House, where cinephiles go to live, baby, in San Francisco. I had heard about this pretty early because of Sundance and because Sean Wang is from Fremont. And I heard that the movie takes place in Fremont, and I feel like we don't get a lot of coming-of-age movies that take place in the Bay like that.
Yeah.
And if we do, it's like San Francisco. It's incredibly niche for it to be like Fremont, Milpitas, San Jose area.
Yeah.
So I saw this in Draft House, and it was full of people in there. We laughed together, we cried together. Golfland mention, absolutely nuts.
Golfland mention was fucking crazy.
It's really wild to see such a real coming of age story that takes place so close to your house with such a similar experience.
Oh my god, and places that we grew up.
Places that we grew up, music we grew up listening to. The Paramore mentions, I was losing my mind.
No, because immediately when I saw all the Paramore shit, I was like, I know Tara went crazy.
I was freaking out. I was like, this is such a real experience. The pressure of wanting to go to a UC. You know, obviously Giselle and I can't relate to, like, the Asian American experience, but so much of this movie still reached out and felt like, oh yeah, I know what that's like.
Yeah, because we're people of color ourselves, you know, and women of color, and in our own respects, but I think that there's definitely, like, been things where people are like, oh yeah, you're pretty for, like, a Mexican girl.
Yeah.
Or you're pretty, I'm sure you've gotten that, like, or
the family
said things about
comparisons, your parents wanting you to be like, their friends' children, and you're just like, dude, I can't. I'm
Like,
just me.
literally.
Like, that's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
I can't reach those standards.
So let's talk about your high points.
Yeah, the whole fucking movie.
The whole movie was a high point.
The whole movie. This is a 5-star movie to me.
I gave this 5 stars as well.
Yeah, this was fantastic. I think high points being, I think the first 30 minutes, you're like laughing and you're like, okay, this isn't too serious. Like, this isn't really like, I'm not gonna cry or anything. This is cool. It's relatable. It's funny.
Yeah.
Like, look at this kid growing up. And then you kind of start to really, it's like 8th grade where you start to feel that discomfort of watching someone grow up in real time.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. And
And it
also,
hurt.
like, the feelings that you forget about being that age and, like, being a teenager.
That you don't want back.
No.
Him being too nervous to kiss her and make a move, and then essentially, like, being bullied and outcasted for that was so painful.
Oh my God. That was so fucking real. Also, like her touching him.
Yeah.
And her being like, are you nervous? Are you nervous?
Yeah.
Also spoilers, obviously.
Yeah.
But like, Chris or Didi, he's like, he is embarrassed, but he also like kind of wanted it, but he's
Not
a
ready.
kid. He's a
not
kid.
ready.
Yeah, he's not ready for whatever that is.
Yeah.
And like that feeling really just struck a chord with me.
Yeah, and the shame that comes with feeling like you're not ready
Yeah.
too is crazy. And then the public shunning of like trying to fit in with your friends
Yeah.
when he's at golfland and he's making jokes and it's like silence.
Yeah.
And then they fucking leave him and he has to get his own ride.
No.
Oh.
It was so real.
You're entitled to compensation if you've ever been deserted at a golfland.
Yeah, literally. If we were saying like that experience at a golfland is real big kids know.
Oh, yeah.
Real big kids fucking
Been there.
know. How many times have I been left at a golfland? Too many times.
Too many to count.
How many times I've called my mom and been like, "Hey, can you actually pick me up?"
Yeah, they're
And
not going to give me a ride.
Yeah, and she's like, "What happened with your friends?" And I'm like, I stare at the window and
they're
want to kill
busy.
myself.
Yeah, they're just busy. I don't know.
I'm like, oh, well, they had to go early. Like, oh my gosh.
I'd give
hate
this
it.
movie 6 stars out of 5 if they had Great Mall in it.
Yeah,
That would have done it for me. Like, that would have been... And I
That's
think...
the movie we have to write.
Yeah, fuck that. Jesus Christ. Not the Great Mall
Not to
mention.
dox ourselves.
No,
but-
not to dox ourselves, you guys, but if you didn't
Jesus
know where we
Christ.
lived before, you can tell now.
Yeah, like, we really just related to this in, like, a very specific way. Like, this is representation I don't think I ever expected.
Yeah, a film kid from the Bay who, like, doesn't excel in school. Something interesting about Sean Wang, too, that I was reading about prior to this is just how he worked in tech until 2023 and
Yeah.
just couldn't hack it, just didn't want to be doing that, knew that he was supposed to be creating, and then out comes this magic. And I think he had been Oscar nominated for a short film before with... he did a short film about his grandparents, I think, or his grandmother.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd have to look up the name again, but I think that did really well. And I don't know, what an amazing feeling to feel like you can't fit in, you have to be creating, and then he goes after it and it works. It works for him.
Yeah. I watched this movie a couple days ago, and I went with my boyfriend, who is like the age of this character is the same age that he would have been. And so like they're born in the same year, and he like my boyfriend related so hard to it. He was like, oh my God, I remember like instant messenger, like top 8 or whatever on MySpace. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like this is definitely a generation before us.
Yeah, because the MySpace, I was like, okay, not landing.
I was
a Tumblr girl.
Yeah,
Had
we were Tumblr girls.
Facebook at 12, but
Yeah.
not MySpace.
Yeah, like Facebook was like in its death when I got my Facebook.
Yeah.
Yeah,
My-
that's
you
when
mean
they were like
MySpace? Yeah.
getting.
MySpace was gone.
Yeah, MySpace was
know what that
completely
was.
gone. I feel like I had a MySpace though because like I just wanted to see what it was about, especially being like an alt kid.
Yeah.
Like I feel like that was like everything. You were like you had to make a MySpace
with the
just to
music
see it.
playing on your page
Yeah.
and everything.
Yeah, but I was not on it when it was like peak.
Yeah.
And I feel like even Facebook, I was like on Facebook when like Farmville came out.
My mom was monitoring the fuck out of my Facebook, so
Dude, yeah.
I didn't poke nobody without it being seen.
We were of the Tumblr era.
Yep.
But I mean, it's the same shit, you know. This is just like
Growing
a different
up
version.
Too fast, seeing things online and not really needing to have that exposure. And,
yeah.
There's a quote from Sean where he says that he says one of his friends from middle school describes middle school as like the moment when you're the worst version of yourself, having the best time of your life. That is insanely real. I feel like this movie really accurately depicts that because he's not getting along with anybody in his family, like, at all. He's arguing with everybody. He's stealing from his sister. He's just not a good person, but nobody's a good person at 13. You're not even a full fucking person. You don't even know what that means. Right.
And I think, too, I really appreciated, like, okay, like, the pee thing and the period thing was gross. Like, with his sister. Yeah. Gross. Never did that shit with my brothers. But, like, my brothers and I definitely like screamed, like, I fucking hate you. I wish you were dead. You know, like, that sort of thing. Like, and then an hour later, they were like, can you take me here? or like, I've been like, hey, do you want to do this? You know?
Yeah.
Oh, and I've, like, kept secrets for them. So I think that it does show, like, a really interesting, like, sibling dynamic that I think is authentic.
Yeah.
And I mean, also just like watching people that you know from middle school and then go into freshman year and like you watch them from afar and after they've like kind of cool guide you, you know, and you're just like, give them a little nod like, hey.
Damn. Seeing it when he was fucking signing up for, dude, the Key Club sign, I almost lost my shit. I said, oh. You couldn't make this if you weren't from the Bay. You could not fake that shit. Like, no, I needed to see an Interact one, and then I would have been like, yo, oh my God. It's done.
Y'all, I wish I could say some names right now.
Above South, baby. Yo, gotta leave it there.
Oh my God.
Crazy. What a time. I did do Interact for a while, too, so.
Did you do Key Club?
No.
Oh my God.
That felt a little too... I can't say that felt as welcoming as Interact.
Dude, I fucking hated the Key Club. There.
Yeah.
No, that was not our breed.
Off record, I can't really tell you what the complete differences between the two. If you were a member of Interact, by the way, do not yell at me for that. I'm so sorry.
What was Interact?
I don't know. I thought that one was bigger.
And, I don't remember.
They were like really about community service and like.
I just remember the Key Club.
I don't know what Key Club was up to.
Dude, I just remember the little hand sign they did.
They had a hand sign?
Yeah, that's why I went like that.
Right.
It was a straight up cult. I would sit next to the auditorium. That's where I like had my table at lunch, and like they would always have their meetings in there and watch them. Yeah, and there would be people that I hate went in there. Like there would be clusters of them that I just didn't get along with. I'd be like, fucking freaks.
Oh, to be young. To be 14 again.
Yeah, I mean, obviously I don't give a shit about that.
Wouldn't trade that shit for anything. I would not go back to being 14. But that shit is
funny. And like, I don't know.
He really just captured it so well.
Yeah, I think also like living with my grandma too. I feel like that really resonated with me because I'm like,
that's true, yeah.
Damn, that bitch is really annoying sometimes. Love you, grandma. But like, I love her. Like she really wants to fight with my mom and like my family and me. But I know she means well, you know?
Yeah.
But it is like, it can be hurtful.
I did like that dynamic in the movie because I do feel like as you're growing up, there's so much that you don't know and you see the world one way, right. You know, and your parents kind of become the automatic enemies and anything that they say is just inaccurate. And
yeah.
So watching his relationship with his mom unfold as he's yelling at her, oh, dad would have stayed and blah, 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 just repeating things that you hear from other adults that you don't even know.
You don't even know what it means.
You don't know anything about that shit, but you don't know that until you're older.
Yeah, and shout out to the single moms. I feel like it's so obvious. People are like, oh, single moms don't get enough love. They really like do get shit on a lot.
They don't deserve it because they're doing the job of two parents.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy. And
single moms rise up. Single moms in the Bay Area rise up.
Single Bay Area's rise up.
It's a Facebook group.
Yeah,
I'm gonna start one.
Shout out to the mothers of Milpitas.
Mandatory Farmville meetings.
Yeah,
every week.
Fucking hell. On that damn Nextdoor app. I see you.
No, that's terrible.
Yeah.
God, did I love this movie. I thought it was really brilliant. It
was beautiful. It was perfect. I cried when I had the golfland scene. I cried.
I think I cried at the end. it just, like, made me tear up when he
I just
finally
never,
gets to high school.
Yeah.
And it's, like, this moment you've been waiting for so long, and you get there, and you're like, oh, fuck. Like, that kind of hurt. And I feel like that's such a relatable feeling. I think we're feeling that even now in our lives, where you want something so bad. You want something more than anything, and you get it, and you're like, oh.
That was it?
That was it? Like, this actually kind of sucks, and I wish I could go back.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not having a good fucking time. I thought I wanted to grow up and be a high schooler and be cool and, like, make skate videos, but, like, I did, and they sucked. And those weren't real friends, and they hated me. Which I think is such a cool comparison to mid-90s, which a lot of people compare this movie to. Because they're not alike at all. Because them skate videos he made, trash.
Yeah, they were trash. Also, like, I mean, comparing it to mid-90s, like, those guys were genuinely, like... Friends, you know? And these guys were clearly just, like, old guys trying to get something out of a child.
Yeah. I did like that they ate him up for talking to his mom like that, though.
Oh, they did.
I was like, get him again.
Get him again!
Get him one more time. Like,
they were like, oh, you think it's cool to talk to your mom like that? Like,
I was like, oh.
And they were like, this kid's whack.
Get the fuck out of here. I was like, damn.
I was like, fuck.
Now he's got nobody.
And then he puts his anime poster up on his fucking wall.
And it's all ripped and I was like, oh.
I was like, yep, real.
So niche.
Yeah, I definitely, I mean, skate kids rise the fuck up, because if you've ever skated at American high school, Bay Area card, you know, like, that's fucking crazy. I literally jumped out of my seat when he Googled, like, best places to skate in Fremont.
That was crazy. When they showed the sign for American high school, I was like, no way.
Yeah, I was like, that's so cool. And then also, like, I mean, everyone knows, partially because of, like, Braille Skate video... the Braille Skate YouTube when it was still up, before Aaron Cairo went fucking crazy. Like, Fremont's skate scene is so fucking integral to the Bay Area. Not just, like, that scene, like, the Fremont scene, but also, like, the San Jose scene. Like, this particular, like, South Bay side of skating is so important to skate culture. And I think that that's so cool because, like, 510, like, that is fucking skateboarding, you know? And so, I mean, it really highlights, too, like, the significance of skateboarding and the influence of it in the South Bay. And I thought that was awesome.
I don't know anything about skating, you guys.
Yeah.
But if Giselle likes it, I love it.
Yeah. I loved it.
Whatever she likes, I love. So love that.
Yeah, and I think it was cool. You know what? I love too, like, the diversity of the friend group because this is really so real
to the Bay Area.
It's so real.
Bay Area fucking niche.
Yeah,
absolutely. I loved that. Yeah, I loved that.
When, at the beginning, when he's like, that kid's not Filipino, he's Mexican or whatever. I was like, oh my god. Like, that's so funny.
Absolutely insanely real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So stupid.
That's just crazy.
And I feel like I was friends with these kids, you know? Like,
yeah,
I
knew a kid like that.
I knew a kid like these. I was friends with these types of kids.
Guys, please go see Didi.
Please
if you live in the Bay, I cannot recommend a movie more. This touched me so wholeheartedly.
If you went to school with us, you have to watch this movie.
You have to know. It's fucking mandatory. Mm-hmm. This will be one of your favorites of the year. I just think, you know, I don't know, so relatable to not only the Asian American experience, but just, like, living in the Bay, growing up as a middle schooler, and, like, yeah, being the worst fucking version of yourself while you're trying to figure yourself out. Hurting people without even trying to. Yeah. Because you can't figure it out.
Hurting yourself.
Hurting yourself, and then looking back in 10 years and being like, ha, glad that shit's fucking over.
Also thinking you're ugly.
Yeah, thinking you're ugly.
Thinking you're ugly. Wait, that was something I remembered, like, from this movie that I took away, too. I was like, wow, I thought I was so ugly as a kid.
Yeah.
I was not.
No.
I thought I was ugly,
we were
fat,
kids.
Fucking had acne. I was so,
we were
literally so
just
normal.
Kids, like, just children.
Yeah.
Like, just girls.
Yeah, just let yourself be.
Just let yourself be, man.
Yeah, so, I would say, like, this is playing in limited theaters, too. At this point,
Go out of your way to watch it.
Yeah, but definitely. And I will say, for all of our South Bay friends, it's playing at the Great Mall.
Yeah, there you go.
So
real Bay Area experience.
If you want to have the RBS experience,
you go to Foster's Freeze, and then you go to Great Mall and you watch this movie.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
And then after, you're going to fucking
Black Bear Diner.
Yep, for dinner. At 11 p.m. with your mom.
But I guess if you're a person of color, not really. Would you be going to Black Bear Diner?
I love Black Bear.
I don't know anyone who's eaten there except for white people.
Right.
My bad.
Dude, they have breakfast till hella late.
So does IHOP. And that IHOP is a
IHOP
banger.
is no. I feel like we went to IHOP more in high school.
That was a staple because
Yeah.
it's right there, and they're not gonna ask you for fucking ID for pancakes. Like we was in that joint.
Yeah, we really were.
Like it was the club. Like
Oh
it
my
was
God.
downtown. We were in IHOP.
Yeah, I remember we would order IHOP during first period.
So good.
Okay.
So good.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. Sorry, we're reminiscing. If you're from the Bay, please go watch this. If you've ever been a teenager, which all of you have been, please go watch this movie. We really recommend it. This is our heartfelt pick of the week because we'll probably get darker per our usual content next week. Thank you guys for listening.
Thank you.